Again, this is your review seniors for your final. We're going to start with the first question. We're just solving. We can solve this using substitution. So we have that y is equal to x squared minus 5x minus 7, and y is equal to negative 5x plus 9. So if y is equal to y, we can set these two equal to one another, and we're just going to have negative 5x plus 9 is equal to x squared minus 5x minus 7. We're going to move the 5x over by adding it to both sides. We're also going to move the 9 over by subtracting it from both sides. So these cancel out on your left side. You're going to be left with x squared. The 5x's cancel. The negative 7 minus 9 is negative 16, and that's equal to 0. Since we're solving for this, we are going to move that 16 over. Since that x canceled out, we're just left with the x squared, so it's x squared is equal to 16. And then we're going to take the square root of both sides, and we get that x is equal to plus or minus 4. So in this case, we have two x values, one that's negative 4, one that is positive 4. You need to solve for y for both of those situations where x is equal to negative 4 and where x is equal to 4. So this is going to give us y is equal to negative 5 times negative 4 plus 9, as well as y is equal to negative 5 times 4 plus 9. The negative 5 times negative 4 is 20, plus 9 gives us that y is 29. And for the other one, the negative 5 plus 4 is negative 20, plus 9 gives us negative 11. So this gives us two ordered pairs that are our solutions. One that is the negative 4, 29, wow, and one that is positive 4, negative 11. For the next problem, we have negative 2x squared minus 3x plus y is equal to negative 4, and y minus 4x is equal to 2. Again, we're going to use substitution here because we have that x squared, and we on that bottom equation we have y. So we're going to move that 4x over by adding it to both sides. So this gives us y is equal to 4x plus 2. From here, we're just going to plug this in for y in that top equation. So it's going to give us negative 2x squared minus 3x plus 4x plus 2 is equal to negative 4. We combine those like terms. We have negative 2x squared plus x plus 2 is equal to negative 4. We can move the 4 over by adding it to both sides. So this gives us negative 2x squared plus x plus 6 is equal to 0. I don't like that negative that's out front in front of that 2x squared. So I'm going to divide a negative out from every term within this equation. So I'm going to have the opposite of 2x squared minus x minus 6 is equal to 0. Because my a is greater than 1 here, I'm going to multiply my a and my c term. It gives me 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. I want to find the factors of negative 12 that add up to be negative 1. So if we have 3 and negative 4, that gives us the negative 1 that we're looking for. So this is going to be the opposite of 2x squared plus 3x minus 4x minus 6 is equal to 0. We're going to factor by grouping. Factor out an x from the first two, factor out a negative 2 from the second. This leaves us with the opposite of x times 2x plus 3 minus 2 times 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. From here, we're going to have the opposite of x minus 2 times 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. We're going to set both of these equal to 0 and solve. We have that negative 1 is equal to 0, which is a false statement. So cross it out, cancel it out, don't work with it. You have x minus 2 is equal to 0, and 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. For the x minus 2 is equal to 0, add your 2 to both sides. You get that x is positive 2. For the 2x plus 3 is equal to 0, subtract the 3 from each side. You get 2x is equal to negative 3. Then divide each side by the 2. And you get that x is negative 1 1/2, or negative 3 over 2. So you have two x values here. For that x is equal to 2, we're going to solve that using that y is equal to 4x squared, or sorry, 4x plus 2. So it's going to be y is equal to 4 times 2 plus 2. The 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 gives us 10. We also have that x is equal to negative 3 halves. So if we plug this in, we're going to have y is equal to 4 times negative 3 halves plus 2. From here, the 4 becomes a 2, 2 becomes a 1, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, plus 2 gives us that y is negative 4. So our two solutions here are 2, 10, and negative 3 halves, negative 4. For our next one, number 3, we have x squared minus 7x plus 11 is equal to y minus 1, and negative x plus y is equal to negative 4. I like that bottom equation in order to solve for one of these variables. I want to get the y by itself because it's already positive. So I'm just going to move that x over by adding it to both sides. And this leaves us with y is equal to x minus 4. So I'm going to plug this in anywhere I see a y in that top equation, which will just be that right-hand side. So we're going to have x squared minus 7x plus 11 is equal to x minus 4 minus 1. We can combine our like terms on the right side to give us x squared minus 7x plus 11 is equal to x minus 5. We're going to move the x over by subtracting it from each side. We're also going to add the 5 to each side to move that over as well. Everything cancels out on the right side. We have x squared minus 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. We want to find the factors of 16 that add up to be negative 8. That would be negative 4 and negative 4. This is also a perfect square trinomial, so it factors out to be x minus 4 squared is equal to 0. If we are to solve this, take the square root of both sides, you get that x minus 4 is equal to 0. Move the 4 over, add it to both sides, you have x is equal to 4. Solve for y now. You know that x is 4, so we can plug this into y is equal to x minus 4. So that's 4 minus 4, which gives us that y is 0. So our only solution for this is 4, 0. Remember, with all of these types of questions also, you can substitute in your answers to the original equations, and you should get true statements for both, if not all, of those original equations. For number 4, we have 2x squared plus y squared is equal to 18, as well as xy is equal to 4. If we're going to solve for one of these variables, I would use the bottom equation and solve for either the x or the y. I'm going to solve for y and just divide each side by that x. So I get that y is equal to 4 over x. I'm going to plug that in to where y is into that first equation. So this gives us 2x squared plus 4 over x squared is equal to 18. From here, we're going to simplify. We get 2x squared plus 16 over x squared is equal to 18. We don't want to work with the fraction, so we're going to multiply everything in this equation by our denominator, which is the x squared. This is going to give us 2x to the 4th power plus 16 is equal to 18x squared. We're going to move the 18x squared over by subtracting it from each side. This leaves us with 2x to the 4th power minus 18x squared plus 16 is equal to 0. We can factor out a greatest common factor here, which would be 2. So it's going to give us 2 times x to the 4th power minus 9x squared plus 8 is equal to 0. Your factors of positive 8 that add up to be negative 9 are negative 1 and negative 8. So this is going to give us 2 times x squared minus 1 times x squared minus 8 is equal to 0. We're going to set each part equal to 0. So we have 2 is equal to 0, x squared minus 1 is equal to 0, and x squared minus 8 is equal to 0. The 2 is equal to 0 is a false statement, so cancel it out, erase it, don't work with it. The x squared minus 1 is equal to 0. Add your 1 to both sides. You get x squared is equal to 1. From here, take the square root of both sides. So x is equal to plus or minus 1. For the x squared minus 8 is equal to 0, add your 8 to both sides. You get that x squared is equal to 8. Then take the square root of both sides. You have that x is equal to plus or minus 2 square root 2. You have 4 x values that you can plug in and solve for y. We know that y is equal to 4 over x. So this is going to give us an x is equal to 1, an x is equal to negative 1, an x is equal to negative 2 square root 2, and an x that's equal to 2 square root 2. So we plug all of these into where our y is equal to 4 over x. So y is equal to 4 over 1, which just gives us y is equal to 4. We have y is equal to 4 over negative 1, which is y is equal to negative 4. We have y is equal to 4 over the negative 2 square root 2. Rationalize your denominator. Simplify those numbers. You get that y is equal to 2 square root 2 over 2, which then those 2's cancel out, so it's just the square root of 2. Then this was negative, so this is a negative square root 2 over 2. From here, you also have the 2 square root 2, so that's going to give us y is equal to 4 over 2 square root 2. You can simplify, so it would be 2 over 2 square root 2, which then if you rationalize that denominator, it would be 2 square root 2 over 2. Those 2's cancel out, so it's just the square root of 2. So you have 4 solutions here. One that is 1, 4. Then you have negative 1, negative 4. You also have negative 2 square root 2, comma, negative square root 2, as well as positive 2 square root 2, comma, square root 2. For number 5, we are given x squared plus y squared is equal to 16, and y is equal to negative x plus 4. So for this one, we have what y is equal to. We're just going to plug it in for y. We have x squared plus negative x plus 4 squared is equal to 16. Simplify this by taking the negative x plus 4 and multiplying it by itself. From here, we're going to get x squared. Negative x times negative x is x squared. Negative x times 4 is negative 4x. Same thing with the 4 times negative x, so that's going to give us negative 8x. And 4 times 4 is 16. If we combine like terms, we're going to have 2x squared minus 8x plus 16 is equal to 16. If you move that 16 over, it cancels out on both sides, so we're just working with 2x squared minus 8x is equal to 0. Factor out your greatest common factor, which is 2x. This gives us 2x times x minus 4 is equal to 0. Set them both equal to 0 and solve for each of them. Divide each side by the 2, you get that x is 0. Add your 4 to both sides, you get that x is also 4. Now we can use that y is equal to negative x plus 4 for both of these. So we're going to have y is equal to negative 0 plus 4. 0 is never negative, so y is just equal to 4. We also are going to have y is equal to the opposite of 4 plus 4. So that gives us y is equal to y is equal to negative 4 plus 4, which is 0. So you have 2 solutions here. One that is 0, 4, the other that is 4, 0. For number 6, we have x squared plus y squared plus 3y is equal to 22, and 2x plus y is equal to negative 1. For that bottom equation, we're going to move the 2x over by subtracting it from each side. So we have y is equal to negative 2x minus 1. if we plug these in, or this in, for each place that we have a y, we're going to have x squared plus y squared, which is negative 2x minus 1 squared, plus 3 times y, which is negative 2x minus 1, is equal to 22. Again, I'm going to separate this to where I have x squared plus negative 2x minus 1 times negative 2x minus 1. And I can also distribute that 3 in if I need to, or I can do that at the same time that I multiply those two binomials together. For with this, when I multiply, I'm going to have x squared plus negative 2x times negative 2x is 4x squared. Negative 2x times negative 1 is 2x. Same thing with negative 1 times negative 2x. So 2x plus 2x is 4x. And negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1. If I distribute the 3 as well, I'm going to have negative 6x minus 3. This is all equal to 22. We're going to combine our like terms. We have 5x squared. The 4x combines with the negative 6x to give us negative 2x. And the 1 and the negative 3 combine to give us negative 2 is equal to 22. We're going to move the 22 over by subtracting it to each side. We're left with 5x squared minus 2x minus 24 is equal to 0. Your a is something other than 1, so multiply your a and your c term. We're going to do 5 times negative 24, which is negative 120. 5 times negative 24 is negative 120. We want the factors of negative 120 that add up to be negative 2. So that's going to be 10 and negative 12. So this is going to be rewritten as 5x squared plus 10x minus 12x minus 24 is equal to 0. Factor by grouping. We're going to factor out a 5x from the first. We're going to factor a negative 12 out from the second. So it's going to give us 5x times x plus 2 minus 12 times x plus 2 is equal to 0. Set them both, rewrite this as 5x minus 12 times x plus 2 is equal to 0. Now set them both equal to 0 and solve for x. So 5x minus 12 is equal to 0, and x plus 2 is equal to 0. Move your 12 over, add it to both sides, then divide each side by the 5 to get x by itself. You get that x is 12 over 5. For the x plus 2 is equal to 0, just subtract the 2 from each side, so you also have that x is equal to negative 2. You know what y is equal to, so plug in what x is for both of these. So we said that y is negative 2x minus 1, so this is going to be y is equal to the opposite of negative 2 times 12 over 5 minus 1, as well as y is equal to negative 2 times negative 2 minus 1. That negative 2 times negative 2 minus 1 is a lot easier, so I'm going to do that first. It's going to give us 4 minus 1, which is 3. For the negative 2 times 12 over 5 minus 1, this is going to give us y is equal to negative 24 over 5 minus 5 over 5, which then simplifies to be y is equal to negative 29 over 5. So when x is 12 over 5, our y is negative 29 over 5. And when x is negative 2, our y is 3. For our next section of this, we are writing partial fraction decompositions, and we are not solving these. So we're just separating it into a over something plus b over something, or a over something plus b over something plus c over something. For number 7 here, we have 11x minus 10 over x minus 2 times x plus 1. This denominator is factored for us, so one of these fractions is going to be a over x minus 2. The other is going to be b over x plus 1. For number 8, we have 3x plus 16 over x plus 1 times x minus 2 squared. Now this one's a little different than ones that we've done in the past because we have that x squared there. So or that x minus 2 raised to the second power. So whenever we have a binomial raised to a power in the denominator, when we're decompositioning these, we are going to keep in mind every power below that one that's given to us as well. So when you write this, we're going to have that x plus 1. You're going to think of the lowest power, that's an actual number other than 0, for that x minus 2 squared. So that's going to be x minus 2 to the first power. You're also going to have x minus 2 to the second power. These are all going to be denominators of fractions. So we're going to have a over x plus 1 plus b over x minus 2 plus c over x minus 2 squared. For number 9, we have 4x over 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. So this one is not factored for us in the denominator, so we're going to factor the denominator first. So we're going to do 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. From here, we want the factors of negative 6 that are going to add up to be negative 5. That's going to be 1 and negative 6 is negative 5. So this is going to be rewritten as 2x squared plus x minus 6x minus 3. We're going to factor by grouping. Factor out an x from the first, factor out a negative 3 from the second. This gives us x times 2x plus 1 minus 3 times 2x plus 1. This is going to also be rewritten as 2x plus 1 times x minus 3. So we're going to set both of these as denominators. And we're just going to have a over 2x plus 1 plus b over x minus 3. For the last part of your review, we are writing the partial fraction decomposition and solving these. So these are going all the way through. So with number 10, we have 7x minus 4 over x squared minus x minus 12. This bottom part, this denominator, factors out to be x plus 3 times x minus 4. So we're going to have that x is equal to negative 3 and x is equal to 4. For this, we're going to work with a over x plus 3 plus b over x minus 4. Your a over x plus 3 is missing the x minus 4 in the denominator, so we're going to multiply it by that a. With b, you're missing the x plus 3, so we're going to multiply b by x plus 3. Remember, when we do this, we set it equal to our numerator. So we're going to have a times x minus 4 plus b times x plus 3 is equal to 7x minus 4. We said that x is equal to negative 3 and x is equal to 4. So use the x is equal to negative 3 first. If we find x is equal to negative 3, a times negative 3 minus 4 plus b times negative 3 plus 3 is equal to 7 times negative 3 minus 4. The negative 3 plus 3 is going to be 0, so it's going to cancel that b out. We're going to have negative 7a is equal to 7 times negative 3, which is negative 21, minus 4 is negative 25. We divide each side by the negative 7, and we get that a is equal to 25 over 7. We also have that x is equal to 4. So this is going to give us a times 4 minus 4 plus b times 4 plus 3 is equal to 7 times 4 minus 4. The 4 minus 4 cancels that a out, so we have 4 plus 3, which is 7b, is equal to 7 times 4, which is 28, minus 4 is 24. We divide each side by the 7, and we get that b is 24 over 7. We go to plug these into that a over x plus 3 plus b over x minus 4, and this gives us 25 over 7 over x plus 3 plus 24 over 7 over x minus 4. you're not done yet. You do need to simplify these fractions. So you're just going to keep, change, flip with these because they are division. Fractions and division are the same thing. So you would have 25 over 7 times x plus 3 plus 24 over 7 times x minus 4. For number 11, we have x squared minus 9x minus 6 over x cubed minus 4x. For this one, we do have to factor that denominator. So we're going to factor the x out first, which is the greatest common factor. So we're going to have x times x squared minus 4. This then factors to be x times x minus 2 times x plus 2. You're going to need this because x is equal to 0, x is equal to 2, and x is equal to negative 2. When you use your a over x plus b over x minus 2 plus c over x plus 2. So that a, we multiply by x squared minus 4. B, we're going to multiply by x squared plus 2x. C, we multiply by x squared minus 2x. So it's going to give us a times x squared minus 4 plus b times x squared plus 2x plus c times x squared minus 2x is equal to our numerator, which is x squared minus 9x minus 6. So if we look, or if we use that x is 0 first, for 0, we have a times 0 squared minus 4 plus b times 0 squared plus 2 times 0 is going to cancel that out. C is going to cancel out also. If we plug it into the right side, we're going to have 0 squared minus 9 times 0 minus 6. So this is just going to give us negative 4a is equal to negative 6. We divide each side by the negative 4, and we get that a is 3/2. We're going to work with positive 2 now. So this is a times 2 squared minus 4. That's going to cancel out. Plus b times 2 squared plus 2 times 2 plus c times 2 squared minus 2 times 2. That's going to cancel out also. Is equal to 2 squared minus 9 times 2 minus 6. So this is going to leave us with the 2 squared plus 2 times 2 is 4 plus 2, which is 8b, is equal to 2 squared, which is 4, minus 9 times 2, which is 18, minus 6, which gives us negative 20. Divide each side by the 8, and we get that b is negative 10 over 4, which is negative 5 over 2. We also want to do the negative 2. So this is going to be a times negative 2 squared minus 4 plus b times negative 2 squared plus 2 times negative 2 plus c times negative 2 squared minus 2 times negative 2 is equal to negative 2 squared minus 9 times negative 2 minus 6. The a is going to cancel out, the b is going to cancel out. We're going to have c times negative 2 squared, which is 4, plus 4, which is positive 8. So 8c is equal to negative 2 squared, which is 4, plus 18 minus 6 is 16. Divide each side by the 8, and you have that c is 2. So we're going to use the a, the b, and the c, and we're going to plug it in to that a over x plus b over x minus 2 plus c over x plus 2. So this is going to give us 3 over 2 over x plus negative 5 over 2 over x minus 2 plus 2 over x plus 2. we need to simplify both of those first fractions, so it's going to be 3 over 2x minus 3 over 2x, there we go, minus 5 over 2 times x minus 2 plus 2 over x plus 2. For number 12, we have 4x squared minus 7x minus 3 over x cubed minus x. This x cubed minus x is going to factor to be x times x squared minus 1, and that factors to be x times x minus 1 times x plus 1. So this is going to give us a over x plus b over x minus 1 plus c over x plus 1. We're going to multiply the x by x squared minus 1. The x minus 1 gets multiplied by x squared plus x, and the x plus 1 gets multiplied by x squared minus x. So this is going to give us a times x squared minus 1 plus b times x squared plus x plus c times x squared minus x is equal to 4x squared minus 7x minus 3. To use that x is equal to 0, so we have 0, we have 1, we have negative 1. We're going to have a times 0 squared minus 1 plus b squared. That's not going to work out, so that's going to cancel. Your c is going to cancel, and this is going to be equal to 4 times 0 squared minus 7 times 0 minus 3. So this is going to give us negative 1a, or negative a, is equal to negative 3. Divide each side by the negative 1 to get a by itself, and you have that a is 3. You also have 1, so we're going to have a times 1 squared minus 1 is going to be 0. Then you have b times 1 squared plus 1. The c is going to cancel out because the b works, and then we set it equal to 4 times 1 squared minus 7 times 1 minus 3. So this is going to be 1 plus 1 is 2. B is equal to 4 minus 7 minus 3. 4 minus 7 is negative 3. Minus 3 is negative 6. So 2b is equal to negative 6. Divide each side by the 2. You get b is negative 3. You also have that negative 1. So it's going to give us a to the power of negative 1 squared minus 1 is going to cancel that out. B is going to cancel out. C, however, is going to be the negative 1 squared minus negative 1. And we set that equal to 4 times negative 1 squared minus 7 times negative 1 minus 3. So this is just going to give us negative 1 squared is 1, minus a negative 1 is plus 1, so that's 2c is equal to 4 times 1 is 4, minus 7 times negative 1 is a positive 7, minus 3. So 2c is equal to 7 plus 1 is 8. We divide each side by the 2, and we get that c is 4. So, using that a over x plus b over x minus 1 plus c over x plus 1, we have that a is 3, b is negative 3, and c is 4. So this is going to give us 3 over x plus negative 3 over x minus 1 plus 4 over x plus 1. The only thing to do is to change those signs on that negative 3. So we're going to have 3 over x minus 3 over x minus 1 plus 4 over x plus 1.